you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today I have a 5v5 custom match here on the most amazing Neuroxys map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 in the Northeast, ending with Team 2 in the Southwest. Starting off with Team 1 Central player, it is in Amethyst Purple. Ninrai going first land as an Aeon. He is a 1400 going first land. To his southeast, going counterclockwise, we have Kane going first land as a Seraphim. He is in Batman Gray at an 1800. The highest ranked player on Team 1 and in the game overall. To his north in Light Oak Tan, we have Drunk Warden going first land as an Aeon. He is an 1100. To his west in Royal Blue, we have Alex Triple X going first air. He is an UEF at 1200 rating, and I think that is, yeah, that's Royal Blue. And last but not least, for Team 1 in Glow in the Dark Green is Strix Inquisitor going first land as an Aeon. He is a 1000 rated. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have 3 Aeons, 1 Seraphim, and 1 UEF, which means they do not have access to Cybran technology. Starting with Team 2's centralmost player, it is in Regal Purple, Han Solo going first, and he is a UEF, and he is a 1300. I wonder if he will shoot first. Going northwest, we have Pavel NX going first land as an UEF as well. He is a 1300 in Ruby Red. In Chevy Crimson to the south, we have Rampur going first land, second air question mark. Oh, there it is. He is a Cybran, and he is a 1200. In Tropical Ocean Blue to his east, we have Freedom Fighter going first land as a Cybran. He is a 1300. And the last player on Team 2 to introduce is Harumu. Or Rumu. I wonder if the H is silent. Going first land, second air. He is a Cybran. He is 1200 in orange, the color orange. So for Team 2 side of the map, they have only Cybran and UEF forces or factions. They have 3 Cybrans and 2 UEF. Let's take a look at the reclaim here before our players scoop it all up. For 10 players to scoop up, they have 16,000 reclaim, which is 1.6k mass per player. And a lot of it is in kind of a little bit further away from their main bases, and there's some of it down the central line. But for the most part, most of the mass will definitely, go to the side that, it's on. So, like, this mass over here will go to Team 2. This mass will go to Team 1. But the central mass will be fought over, of course. But honestly, there's not large, thousands, 800 piles that are really going to be fought over. I mean, maybe you could say over here would be a little bit more fought over, but I'd say most of it is going to be about 50-50. And in terms of mass point layouts, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trimix positions here for Team 2, which is 1 for each of the players, plus an additional 1 here for the side player, this being Pavel, and on the east, that would be Kane. Let's go ahead and see what our players are getting up to. We have 3 of the players on Team 1, actually 4 players on Team 1 leaving their main bases, and 2 of them on Team 2 have left their main bases. And this is going to be the biggest point of contention here on the map is the central line. We have no mexes over here. We have 1 mex here. 1 mex here and nothing over there in terms of the middle. There'll be, they're pretty wide to walk through, so T4 unit's going to have an easier time, and there's a little bit of kind of a hook maneuver that can happen here, but I don't really see that being a huge amount of tactical advantage. We do have a couple of plateaus that have a couple of mexes on them, and I could possibly see a scenario where one team grabs this and can just lob missiles and artillery. Obviously, the same thing going down in the northwest section. But it's going to be a lot of land power, and our players on both teams have to really just hold the line here. Because if one line falls, let's say in the middle of the map, this lane and this lane can come and try to relieve. But again, it's the whole you take forces from one side, move them to the other, and you make that side weaker. So land all day here on this game. And as you can see, there is no water, so no hiding. Actually, okay, it looked like water for a second. There's a little corner of the map. Maybe we'll even see a game ender or artillery here in this corner. It's very isolated. We do see a a point where units can actually walk all the way up, so it's not an entirely isolated environment. And you can have, you know, T3 or T2 kind of just sit there and shoot down there. But besides that, it's just going to be land and air, so no water, no Navy at all. Apologies to those who do love naval combat. I am a fan of it, and I do enjoy it when it does happen, but sometimes it tends to be an example where it kind of gets stale. So Neurox's maps are nice because they're, well, randomly generated. They're not, you know, same, essentially stagnant metas. Let's go ahead and take a look what's going on here in the southeastern corner. We have a drop outbound, and has already started to gain a foothold here for Ruma here in the southeast. I've decided that it's a silent H, so I'm going with Ruma. We do see his comm here in the middle going for a large amount of just one-off rocks, just a bunch of 10s over here. And there's a couple of units going forward here from Kane, trying to at least, you know, get some engineers killed off, slow down the expansion rate of Team 2. We do see T2 on the way here for Han Solo in the middle of the map. We do see his forces trying to catch up to forces from Kane. He sent some around this way and sent some around this way. And he's doing a decent job of holding off Team 2's expansionary forces, but for the most part, these units will be dealt with very swiftly, and he's more concerned, of course, with getting those mexes nice and claimed and then going for upgrades sooner rather than later. We do see an interesting movement here out from Team 2, where we have Pavel not only securing the Midwest point, but also the Northwest as well. Neither players on Team 1 have grabbed, or Team 1 or Team 2 have grabbed any of these mixes up here, so I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe one of the air players possibly go for that, or maybe even just completely ignore. I don't see that being ignored, but it's just really weird that neither team has gone for that corner when we saw drops, at least from one, if not the other one, for Team 1 and 2 over here in the southeastern corner. But we'll see what's going on. T2 on the way here. Our players know that it's going to be a lot of PD, a lot of shields, a lot of TMD, because it's going to be land all day and then some. What I do like here is that Pavel has put his comm pretty much in the middle of this engagement point, and he's sending most of his units to the northwest to secure that, at least the best that he can. And we see he's facing up against two players on Team 1, that being Alex and Strix. On Team 2 side of the map, we have two comms here for the middle east point, and we have the southeast point for Ruma going off with Kane. So it's 1v1, 2v1, and 2v1, this being in favor of Team 1. So we might see this point collapse sooner here for Team 1, and this point, I'm assuming, I'm assuming this point's going to fall a lot quicker than this one will here for Team... No, this point's going to fall for Team 1. This point's going to fall for Team 2. There we go. We do see pings going down here from probably Team 1, notifying everybody that there is a comm there. And we do see gun speed and range started here for Kane as well as for Ruma. So both of them going for aggressive plays with their commanders, while other players on both teams going for more fire basing. We do see the both purple players sizing up one another. And it does look like Ninra. I think it's Ninra. Going for some nice little Oblivion PDs, and some nice triads are going to be online here for Han Solo here pretty shortly. It's just going to be a lot of back and forth in that regard. We do see a little bit of forward momentum here for Team 2's Pavel against Alex. Alex has a gun upgrade. Pavel has T2. One going for PD, one going for, of course, just raw strength. Eventually, this will side with Team 2 as Pavel gets more PD online, but he's about to build a triad, and Alex doesn't want any sort of encroachment going on. He's going to try to shoot at range, kill some T1 units. All those units are going to fall back. The first triad is going to come on here pretty shortly. Oh, actually, no, it doesn't even finish. Doesn't want to even waste the mass to finish it, or not waste it, but use the mass to finish it. Definitely an interesting point of that. Oh, and it gets finished there. I wonder why it wasn't finished. The triad now being able to target the comm, and then some units here. Units here from Alex start to engage, and Alex going for that T2 PD. A second one is being constructed here, and some T1 strikers now that have retreated to come back and starting to face the comm of Alex. And now Pavel will abandon this position, giving Team 1 some nice little secure point in the Midwest point. And we do see in the Middle East position, a couple of bombers go over the top, prevent the shield from being constructed, as well as killing off some units harassing Han Solo on that front line. T3 Air is on the way here for Team 2. How's it on for Team 1? It is on the way for both teams, getting for T3 Air, except Team 1 has a second player going for T3 Air, while Team 2 only has the one, so it's definitely going to side with the air engagement. But that then, again, is the whole, do you trade air for land, or do you go land and, you not have as much air? So always a trade-off in this game. There's never a 100% answer or 100% right answer for one move or the other. I do like that Han Solo has diverted some of his forces southward to assist Ruma in pushing at Kane. And Kane is dropping into the yellow, and Ruma just going to keep pushing forward. He should send all of these units and go after Kane. Kane is the highest rate of play on Team 1 and in the game overall. So killing off a player that higher rated this quickly would definitely be a boon to Team 2. And we do see Ruma thinking that exact same thing. Kane is going to be able to fall back here pretty shortly. There's a lot of THAMs online here to force back Team 2's forces, and actually dealt with a lot of them. And we have more units body blocking one another here in the west between Freedom Fighter and Han Solo. And a lot of those forces now diverting eastward to assist with defenses for Kane. So both players on Team 2 and 1 doing very similar strategies and reinforcing one line, but it's left another lane open. But we do see Han Solo saying, you know what, I'm going to rotate westward and assist Pavel going this way. And Pavel actually doing that exact same thing because his western side has broken. And we do see those forces outbound from Strix pushing forward, getting some kills on those Team 1 mechs, and a lot of the infrastructure here that desperately Team 2's Pavel needs. He needs to keep this online, especially if he's facing off against two players. We do see Ruma building some T1 PD for defenses, but a couple of those engineers are killed off. That's sorry, not engineers. They are Mantis. They can be engineers, but not as effective as engineers. Nano repair going on the way here for Kane. Very, very good upgrade to go for, getting those hit points. And it still hasn't fallen back too much. There's still some PD to protect, as well as all of his forces. And now that the threat is kind of alleviated, we do see Ninra moving those forces back to this western side. We could see an attack on this point here. There's only a couple of triads and one shield online, and this could easily fall here for Team 2. So Team 1 could use that to their advantage, but I don't know if they'll engage or not. We do see a lot of T2 now coming online here for Freedom Fighter, going for those missile launchers to just annoy Team 1's player of Ninra. That does look like Team 1 has gained a nice little foothold on Team 2's side of the map, forcing back Pavel with a couple of Oblivion PD. Strix has a couple of them to fall back to as well. Love that layered defense strategy. So as you walk by, your opponent still takes damage constantly. But now with some triads online here in the middle and more as well coming out from Han Solo, we could see this position starting to crumble at least a little bit. But we do see a clean camera starting to come online. So Alex is trying to counter PD with artillery. That definitely works. Probably would go for mobile missile launchers. They're mobile, and they're cheaper. And, they're mobile. So they're a little bit more versatile. But clean cameras, of course, T2 artillery, you can't really beat. I mean, you can beat them, but it's consistent damage. It's consistent shots. You don't have to worry about hit points as much because usually mobile missile launchers are kind of weak. And as an example, Vipers only have 700 hit points while clean cameras have 3,600. So definitely a bigger boon in one way or another. We do see Volcanoes being very effective in dealing with multiple missiles outbound from Freedom Fighter. You can see those missiles constantly weaving back and forth, just being distracted by those flares. And Ninra, very nice counter here. I do love the Zappers as well, though. I feel like a mix of both Zappers and Volcanoes. Zappers can target the missiles a little bit further out. The Volcanoes are definitely designed for multiple missiles being launched essentially simultaneously. So that definitely coincides with which is what we're seeing here. But getting like a couple of engineers to go for just a couple of Zappers, just to, again, because any system can be overwhelmed. It doesn't matter how many shields, doesn't matter how many artillery. Eventually your system will collapse under enough weight. So all Team 2 has to do is just build enough to be like, see, we're overpowering you. You can't deflect as much or as many as you could, and now that's it. But who are being forced back again by Kane. Kane has that upgrade, and now at 76 hit points a second, tries to push back Ruma. He's on stealth. will probably go for Nano soon, and Kane pushed a little bit too far forward and is receiving a ton of Tickle Cannon fire to the back, but of course it's Tickle Cannon fire, it's Cerberus fire, so it's not as dangerous as, let's say, Triads or Oblivions or Utashalas. It's just damage. And we see in the northwest, Team 1 is holding strong. Artillery now established to those miasmas. They leave that little acid damage. It's very, very annoying to deal with. Pavel going for a nice little shield emplacement. He'll lose his Triad. And that shot actually almost impacts the shield that he's trying to build. But that defensive measure is not going to go very well here on that western side. At 14 minutes and 43 seconds, no one has died yet. And as you can see, those missiles are starting to breach the shielding. It's just overwhelming this. Look, it's like fireworks going on here between Team 1 and Team 2. There's all those missiles going up to the sky. You can see they only divert for so long. And those volcanoes are the main target. One of them is taken out. And again, it's only a matter of time. That's why you need artillery. You know, TMD cannot deflect artillery. That's really what shields are for. We do see Utashalas online here for Kane facing off against those Cerberus PD, and now we see Ruma still firing on Kane. Kane, I mean, he has a radar, but just can't seem to target Ruma. He's staying barely out of vision range. And there he goes. We do see some of those Ilshis online. They're going to start pushing forward, clearing the way for Team 1 to push forward. But we see a counterattack with a ton of Mantis for Ruma, and he's going to, again, just continue to focus on Kane. Lots of engagements here. The mass will stay on Team 1's side for the time being. But, well, it also doesn't help that Team 2 has a nice little stealth field generator online. It doesn't really help Team 1 see what's going on that side of the map. Aruma now receiving a ton of firepower to the face from Kane. Kane at 7,800 and Aruma at 82, excuse me. The both teams very comparable in hit points, but now the unit's starting to overwhelm Team 1. We could see some reinforcements arrive here pretty shortly, but of course we have both Ninra and Drunk Warden dealing with those missiles constantly berating that side of the map. And Kane just receiving fire after fire after fire. Ruma's not stopping. There's more Ilshis coming into range here. Pretty sure. Actually, he didn't have Ilshi. There's one Ilshi. There's a couple of mobile missile launchers, which at the short range, not really useful. They don't have a lot of hit points. They just can't tank a lot of shots. And overcharge kills off. I think those are 2 Ilshis there. And Kane getting a lot of veterancy. Same here for Ruma. He's almost at 3-star. Kane's on his way to 3-star. And that attack does peter out eventually. And Kane going back into range of Ruma's PD. Those tickle cannons focusing on all the other units, not Kane. That's definitely the smart way to go. Take out all the ads first and go after everything else. That's what happens a lot in MMORPGs, is you kill off all the spawning units. Or at least unless they're infinite, then it's kind of annoying. But you kill off the weaker units first, and you can focus on the big bad. And we see 2 comms just being focused down here by Freedom Fighter. Han Solo, like I said, rotated westward and is doing a pretty good job in holding that front line here for Team 2. And there's now more forward momentum going in Team 2's direction. It's slow going, but it is going in that direction. Units outbound. That's a lot of blazes, though. I mean, we could see Strix push forward. He has the units. He's just not doing it. He's not giving the attack order, and it's giving a lot of time for Pavel to build up defenses and just pummel this position. There's 1 shield online, and that 1 volcano, I think there's only 1, is starting to be overwhelmed here. Volcanoes are not, they are really, really good TMD, but they're not omnipotent. They're not all-powerful. Kane forcing back Ruma, falling into the yellow. He's at 4-star veterancy now at 8,000 mass killed. Kane almost at 3 stars. Almost killed 4,000 mass, and all these Mantis running into him definitely not going to help Team 2's side of the map with that whole comm getting more hit points thing. But Team 2, T3 Air is online, but 2 players on Team 1 having T3 Air going to start to be a little bit dangerous. One of them could go for Bomber. We have seen games where T3 Strat definitely just punishes other players, but it's not looking like that is on the cards here for Team 1. Ravagers plus Triads plus Clean Cameras plus Shields equals that position's not going to last very long. Han Solo knows it and will fall back. We cannot really deal with that firepower of such magnitude, but we do see still, you can see the missiles. TMD, I mean, trying to do what they can. There's even more and more of them being built, but the missiles are getting through. And the downside with Cybran missiles is that if you shoot one, they split and still do damage, and then it makes it even more annoying to deal with all of those missiles. Now you trade 1 for 3, and the volcanoes can only do so much. It's less damage, of course, but still, it does make a difference. We're approaching the 20-minute stage of the game, and we see attack in the west, outbound from those forces guarding this position here for Alex. The Ravager is online, but it's only going to do so much. Those units are engaging. There's some Riptides in the mix there. Hover tech, not really useful on this map in terms of its hover, but still is useful nonetheless in other regards as a T2 amphibious tank. We see a lot of T1 spam coming in, as well as some flak as well in the forms of T1, but again, T1's better than none. And the shield emplacements are being targeted from underneath the shield, and there goes that emplacement. Han Solo does have shield and T2, doesn't have gun, probably should go for gun if he's going to be this far forward. And we could see a situation where he rotates to missile or even Billy Nuke. But we do see some reinforcements outbound from him in some Triads. Not Triads, sorry, some Titans. Very, very useful unit, of course. Fast moving, shoots very quickly, and is very good in raiding and dealing with this T1 and T2 spam. But the attack that I mentioned earlier that should have commenced is now doing so. Pavel spamming up T1 PD to defend. And all the shields are being targeted, but Pavel's comm isn't really being targeted. I think once the shields are down, then they'll target him. But, oh, there it goes. The order has been given, but there's not a lot of tanks left to deal with the comm's hit points. And so this position, it's been through the ringer, will stay online and will still launch missiles at Strix's position in the north. We do see another attack in the east here from Kane against Ruma. And Ruma still hasn't gone for Nano region, but does still have stealth. It's lost his stealth field generator, but at 10,000 mass killed, he's at 5-star agency. Kane almost a 4-star, is at 5,800 out of 6,500. And now we see artillery raining in here from Team 1. I think those are T3 artillery. Yep, there are some Serenity T3 mobile heavy artillery, and they're starting to shell these shields. Cybran shields are not the best, but it's about to upgrade. Is it going to finish off? Yes, it does. It's now going to upgrade to ED5, which is the, I think there's only 5 levels for Cybran shields. I don't think there's 6. I think there's only 5. Anyway, I don't play Cybran as much. I play UEF main and then a little bit of Seraphim, and not really Aeon and Cybran, so I don't remember. I think it's 5, because I think you can build the T3, like this is a T3 shield technically, you can upgrade it to ED5, and then that's it, from what I remember. But in the northwest position, Han Solo starting to rebuild his position here. The Ravager's going to force him back even further. Team 2, how is your eco going here at 21 minutes on the clock? We have 630 mass income here for Team 2. Team 1 at 770, so more than 100 and something mass is being produced more for Team 1 than Team 2. And in terms of map control, you can just see Team 1 is edging out Team 2 just slightly, but they are edging, which is better than nothing, especially in this west position. And let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. Please, if you haven't done so already, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with everyone and anyone. And of course, as always, I do appreciate it. Thank you so very much for watching to this point in the video. We do see more missiles are coming online. Team 1's Kane, has some TMD, but doesn't have as many as other players do at this point, because Ruma hasn't employed that strategy yet. But here come the missiles. They're raining in. The shields are, staying online for now, but they're targeting the T2. Actually, those are T2 PD, not artillery. They look similar to the T2 artillery from the Seraphim. We do see some counter missile launchers coming online here for Kane as well. And those ones are not moving, and there they go. You gotta keep the accuracy goes down when you move, but if you don't move, you're also an easy target. The shield is offline here for Team 2's Freedom Fighter. He has T3 artillery now, but it just might be. Oh no, it's not necessarily too late. The shields are falling here for Team 1. And Drunk Warden, I mean, they're both Aeon. I would love to see some Loyalists online, especially in, well, every line of defense for both teams, I might add. They have the redirect missile fire, and it's just, oh, it's just very good, especially against cruisers or even Billy Nuke. They can do it for a Billy Nuke. Very, very effective. Because technically the Billy Nuke is considered a missile, technically. And facility up near to the plateau. Looks like it was taken by Drunk Warden, and now it's being shoved away. There is a nice little T3 transport with a nice little, I think that, what is that, an Ilshi? What is that? It's moving too quick. There are some bombers over here, and yes, it is an Ilshi. T1 PD is online, and they Ilshi targeting that little transport. Bombers over the top, going to kill that very quickly. They'll actually kill a wall section. That's actually 2 wall sections. And thought I heard something blow up. Nope, there wasn't anybody dying. And ASF's now running around here for Team 2's Ramper. He's trying to ramp up his ASF production. Team 1 not producing as much as I thought they would with 2 air players. Or at least 2 air facilities. Looks like one of them realistically only focusing on land, just has access to T3 air. Is pumping out ASFs once in a while, but isn't focusing it as much as his other player or as a teammate of Drunk Warden. Drunk Warden is busy on the front line trying to defend with all of the TMD he can. And those Serenities not underneath shield coverage, definitely not where you want your artillery to go. And T3 Trebuchets also being shot. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. Just T3 losses back and forth here. There are some flak online. Oh, no, those were TMD shots. Thought I saw a sniper bot shooting, but that was TMD. It's going to slow it down a little bit. It's mainly just artillery here, and a nice little clean camera shooting at Han Solo. He's going for more shields. More and more shields, and those are more clean cameras. Oh, he loses the shield emitter. That's got to hurt. I feel like at this point, I'm going to just speed it up just a little bit, because there's not really a whole lot of action going on. Team 2, do you have anything in the rear that you're playing with? We do have a crab coming online here for Han Solo. That's realistically it. Team 1, what do you have going on here in the east? No experimentals. There is a Colossus coming online here for Ninra. And that is it. So 1 Colossus and 1 crab. I'll definitely go with the crab in that estimation, just due to the fact that the crab has better range, and as long as it stays at range, it will win that fight every single time. But there is another counterattack going on in the east between Ruma and Kane. And we do see, of course, those forces are ill-equipped. There's a lot of T2.5 Ilshis and some Othams now online. And this is going to favor Team 1 quite significantly. Oh, I did not turn off all the things so that I can get a nice little vision on that nice little cinematic shot. All those Mantis are just being slaughtered here by Team 1. All they wanted to do is just protect their homelands and assist the comm with construction, but it is not on the cards here for Team 2's Ruma's forces. Ilshis are being targeted by the comm, of course, and now the comm being focused fire by Team 1. Ruma's got to get out of there sooner rather than later. Otham's coming into range. Ilshi's trying to catch up to that comm. More and more Mantis fire is raining down on that shield, that T3 mobile. Ruma still not really being the main attack. Oh, there it goes. As I say something, then he gets focused on. He does have nano, so 108 hit points a second, 12,000 mass killed. Gets a couple more Thams killed. Needs to kill off the Ilshis. And he's taking a ton of hits, falling below 7,000 hit points and dropped them pretty quickly. Another Ilshi killed off. And there are some bricks now sacrificing themselves here for the greater good of the commander surviving. Ilshis, oh, they're just being targeted one by one by those overcharges. Another one kills off another Ilshi, but I don't think it's enough firepower that he's killed off. And there he goes, the first player on Team 2 and in the game overall to be killed off. And that is it. Team 1 will score the first scalp, and it was Kane who got it. It is now a 5v4 in favor of the northeastern team of Team 1. We do see an attack in the northwest by some gunships outbound from the air player of Rampur, going after some T2 mechs. There is a T1 AA facility starting to be built, but that's not going to last very long. And it does look like Pavel has shoved off Strix for the time being for this position. So he's getting a little bit work around in that regard, but the incursion that is coming on here from Kane, going after T2 mechs is here. Got all the way back here And now that Team 2 has another, Freedom Fighter has 2 bases under his control. I would not be surprised if he starts pumping out some T4 units. There are some T1 bombers coming on station, and the offense are being forced back by Mantis and Brickfire. Illustri's doing a very good job. They did a very good job. There's still a couple left, but there's a lot of them that did get killed off in that explosion. And they sacrificed themselves, at least for Kane's greater good. And Team 1's, because, killing off a player is a lot of APM, and eventually you can just overwhelm your opponent by just not... They can't manage everything because there's so much going on. They just collapse under the weight of everything, which is one strategy, but it also depends on who you kill. Because if you have a game with, let's say, a 2500 against a game with, 3 or 4 1400s, maybe the 1400s can win, but the 2500, is a high level rated player, and they definitely have a lot of APM in their storages, especially as the game gets to 45, 50, 55 minutes. We do see the attack outbound with that Colossus started construction earlier on. Team 2 is not well equipped to deal with this. That crab needs to be built and sent to that eastern line. This Colossus will start ripping through those early defenses, but besides that, there's really nothing else. Large production facility can be taken out here by that Colossus. Bricks just throwing themselves at the Colossus to try to keep it at bay while the crab is finished off and comes into range. Crab needs to get mortars immediately. Go back, says Ramper, go back. He wants Team 2 to draw in that Colossus, grab the mass, and call it a day. We do see some missiles being launched here by Team 1's Kane against those T3 Mechs, and we'll kill off a T3 Mechs there. Looks like it's going to go there again. Maybe kill off the mass, possibly. Lots of tickle cannons online very, very quickly here. And those bricks trying to buy time for that Colossus to just be eaten by those tickle cannons. It's dropping hit points realistically quickly. And some whalers coming online as well. Is that Colossus not firing? The Colossus is not firing its main laser cannon, which is very weird. I don't know if it's being microed or not. Maybe it's just out of... I don't think it's out of range. No, it's definitely in range. Very weird that it's not... Oh, there it goes. Now it's firing. That was very weird. But that was a whole lot of time that those tickle cannons did a ton of damage on that T4 experimental. And now his second line of tickle cannons is online. Again, layered defenses. And there go those hit points very, very rapidly. And there's even some Titans online as well to assist from Han Solo. And that first line of cannons is offline, but the second one and all the other units will kill that Colossus. He is drunk. His Ramper. You talking about Drunk Warden or Ninra? Because we do have a Drunk Warden here, but I don't know. Drunk is not in Ninra's name. Yothotha, says Ramper. Yes, there is a Yothotha online, and it's over here to the southeast. There is that crab that can easily... Yep, it's going to intercept immediately. Team 1, you constructing another Colossus, I would imagine. Yep, and it's done. It's being sent to the front line immediately. T3 Pigeon and an SMD online. Han Solo essentially just hanging out here. He's not really putting a lot of effort to defenses. Team 1 built a huge little bunker here, but a lot of mass, a lot of energy, a lot of effort has gone into this. One nuke could kill that off very, very quickly. Even a FAF boy is going to start to be constructed underneath those shields. And that chicken is just going to sit put for the time being. Team 2 now going to land units up there to start another facility. Han Solo built another experimental. It's a FAF boy. He built that really quickly, I think. And that's going to be sent eastward as well to help shore up defenses on that side of the map, which is definitely a smart move to make. This is definitely the weaker of the 4 lanes, as I would call them. Southeastern lane, one player is gone, so kind of a little biased in my opinion of that. Another missile going out, taking out all the mass and everything for that T2 Mechs. And just mass assassinations going on here against Team 2 by Team 1. Team 1 at 1.5k income. Team 1 at 1.1, almost at 1.2, kind of teetering between the two numbers. And at this point, again, Team 1, they have them. Oh, at least they have some mass. What's this up here? Ooh. Apocalypse strategic missile launcher. Very, very interesting here for Team 1. 32 minutes on the clock. Somebody's starting to think about how to end the game, not necessarily survive and perpetuate it. Chicken and more chickens being built here by Kane. Need more power generators. Looks like he needs a little more oomph. Get ASF and don't just take reclaim, says Ninra. We'll be talking about this mass over here. Team 2 has 1 experimental, or at least direct fire 1, and 1 artillery-based 1. Team 1 has 1, 2 direct fire, 3 direct fire, so 2 in the east and 1 in the mid-east. Nothing up here to the northwest. No Colossus coming. Oh, nope, never mind. Scratch that. Strix is building his Colossus. And, of course, the FAF Force coming online for Alex. But, again, Team 1, they had a nice attack going on, and they've been pushed back. Team 1's done a great job of just, again, annoying Team 2. And Han Solo just kind of letting it happen. He's not really, again, he's not over here. He's not focusing it down. He must be going for something else, I would imagine. He's going for another Fat Boy. And both engineering stations and hives and kennels, or engineering stations. Looks like there's just a bomber over top, launching shells at him. I don't know. Where is our where is our everything? This rampart. Well, I mean, when you're producing 300 to 400 less mass than your opponent, it does kind of feel like that. At least, you know, that was the feeling that I would get. Fat Boy going to move in and try to force back that Colossus that's pushing forward. In layer defense, most of the defense is gone. Another layer of defense, multiple layers of defense. As that Colossus walks into range, more and more of those defenses come online and open fire. Fat Boy is doing so right now, targeting that Colossus. And there's a lot of shields and a lot of Harbingers going to come and assist. But honestly, they should be with the Colossus right now. And those bricks going to stand in the way to assist with defenses and try to block those lasers. The arms on board those Colossus grab 2 of the bricks. A lot of hit points to crush. We do see a lot of gunships online here for Team 2's air player. And the shield is down. The bricks are almost down. But the Colossus is down. This attack goes nowhere. And in the southeast, the attack is starting to commence here. 1 chicken to the west. On that side, 1 chicken to the east, trying to fan them out a little bit so they don't just get kind of stuck on top of one another. Bricks down here, shield coming online, more chicken cannons, more units coming in from Han Solo, and the crab is starting to retreat, trying to at least get some distance between those 2 experimentals. But it does look like that chicken's going to come into range of those Titans. There's 1 Percy in the mix. That's not going to be a lot to stop that crab. Crab going to focus on a engineer and then go after that chicken. Second chicken, is he just going to walk him down? He might just walk him down at this point. And those tickle cannons are going to come online here pretty shortly. But Whaler is now coming online here to deal with those experimentals. And the chicken flak is not super great, but there are lightning tanks in the mix. Love to see those, and regular flak as well. That chicken dropped hit points very, very quickly. There it goes, just due to that crab constantly focusing fire on it. And the second chicken is being ripped to shreds as we speak by everything firing at it. So Team 1 struggling to make their experimentals work for them. Team 2 doing a very good job with the 2 that they have access to for the time being. And there goes that second chicken, goes, oh, I should probably just go for it. And then goes, no, probably shouldn't. Now that's 2 chickens Rex plus the Colossus here. Team 2 getting donated a decent amount of mass. And now the Colossus is going to make another play for it in the mid-east position, but then goes, no, that Fat Boy is still firing at me, so no, I'm good. And in a nice piercing attack outbound here from Team 1's Alex, trying to go for the rear, engineering station that is Han Solo, producing a bunch of very interesting things. Rascom, a lot of assists with that, engineering stations, both the hives and the kennels. But that attack, I mean, it's starting to, get ripped apart by the Whalers over top, and the Fat Boy to the west here from Pavel, and the Fat Boy to the east here by Fat Boy. Obviously, the other Fat Boy built by Han Solo, and Han Solo was not the first one to fire, but he's done a really good job of firing with those Fat Boys. Han Solo, those units are starting to reach his base, but he has a lot of triads online. This attack is not going to go anywhere, unfortunately, and just dump mass again on Team 2's doorstep. There's some Ravagers built up here by some engineers, and the attack in the east does commence while those units are distracted over here. And the Fat Boy will rotate back up and try to deal with the Colossus. Colossus starting to rip through all of those tickle cannons. But again, there's a crab coming online here pretty shortly with the Fat Boy soon to be in range. And all those Percys die without realistically piercing the shield, without even taking out the T3 mech that's right here. And that's just a lot of wasted potential here for Team 1. It's just a lot of distance to walk from here to here. This base is going to go down to the Fat Boy. But now there's a Fat Boy here for Team 2. The shields, I mean, there's more hit points with the shields for Team 1 than there is for Team 2 with just the lonely Fat Boy. So Team 1 would win that fight, but there's also artillery firing at that fat boy, so yeah, that didn't really work out the way that Alex thought it would work out. And artillery raining down on the fat boy. It's actually received some fire from some miasmas that are firing at it. That's never an annoying thing to deal with. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Oh, I love this. I love the Soothsayer coming online. Going to get some nice vision for Han Solo and his team. And it does look like units are gearing up for another attack. A lot of Othams, a lot of T3 mobile shields, a couple of flak in there. I don't see any lightning tanks, a couple of sniper bots. But I'd say lightning tanks, a couple more Ilshis, I'd feel like. And that'd be a really, really good army. But for the most part, it's very tanky, for lack of a better word, with the shields and, well, the tanks. Why you take reclaim and do nothing, says Ramper. In terms of reclaim, Team 2's Han Solo has grabbed 80,000 reclaim. Team 2 at 164,000 reclaim in total. Team 1 still has outproduced them at 1.74 million mass collected in terms of reclaim or produced. How's that nuke going? It's about 3/4 the way loaded. And I don't see any sort of other game ender plays. Just Colossus, and there's another attack outbound from Colossus and Harmages, but with 2 fat boys plus a nice little Ravager. That Colossus is going to die. This defensive position is gone for Team 2, but all Team 1 is doing is just throwing mass at Team 2. They're losing defensive stations, but they're starting to consolidate power in the southwestern corner as time goes on. It makes it more and more difficult for Team 1 to pierce those defenses, essentially creating their self-fulfilling prophecy of the harder you hit something, the more it hardens. And there's a lot of vision here for Han Solo to see a whole lot of what's going on. A couple of artillery pieces are online. Maybe they're targeting the perimeter monitoring station. Nope, they're targeting the fat boy. Fat boy doesn't like that. They'll start targeting it. Ramper built his experimental. It is a crab. In the backline, fat boys have retreated to the main base of Pavel, but Pavel does have a nuke online as well. Do you have an SMD, sir? No, you do not. Does Team 2 know that Team 1 has a nuke? Yes, they do. Team 2, yeah, that's going to hurt. And Team 1's target should be this. Target a comm, target a nuke. You could try to target Han Solo. There's an SMD online, though, so probably not. And it is loaded. Monkey Lord coming online here for Han Solo. So I feel like the first nuke that should be launched from Team 1 is to go for this position, kill the nuke launcher, maybe try to grab the 2 fat boys and kill the comm of Pavel, drop this game to a 5v3. If he doesn't move, fat boy now pushing forward is just churning out units both in anti-air and shield capacity. But not a lot of attack power besides just the fat boy itself. There's a couple of Percys coming into range, but pretty shortly. But they're being attacked by Ravagers, which, of course, shoot at range and just rip apart fat boys. Not fat boys, Percys. There goes that nuke. And if it's not going over there, that's definitely a missed opportunity. Oh, no, it's outbound from Team 2? It is. It's outbound from Team 2 down here in the south. Didn't notice this nuke that was coming online for Freedom. Excuse me. Freedom with the first nuke launch of the game. SMD is not online. SMD over here, not online. SMD in the rear is not even exit. Oh, SMD over here. It is loaded, and it just got loaded, so Team 1's player of Drunk Warden didn't have to get on that transport, but definitely was a smart play to get out of there while he had the chance. Definitely a smart play. Tried to go after that nuke, but that nuke has finished off. Let's see if the nuke goes after Team 2's nuke in the west. And there is no SMD. The fat boy will just finish off.
Strategic launch
and
detected.
is it going there? No. It's going over here for this position. Going here for... Nope, those are pings. No, those are not a nuke launch. Where's the nuke going? No, it's going in that direction. Does Team 2 have an SMD? No, they do not. Ooh. Ooh, that SMD. Ooh, that's gonna be rough. It's. I mean, it looks like it's going for either the front line position. No, it's going for the rear. Okay. I was gonna say. There goes the nuke. The SMD is not loaded. It's being assisted quite heavily, but it doesn't matter. There it goes. First nuke landing of the game. Kaboom! Kills everything off here. The main base of Freedom Fighters is no more. He's done a very good job on the eastern side of things after Rumor was defeated. ASF go after the Whalers here, but ASF's outbound from Team 1, going to go after the ASFs and still the Whalers, but just can't seem to grab the rest of those ASFs. And the AA starting to be just fanned out here by Team 2's Han Solo to deal with the air superiority of Team 1. There's a Novak Center online here in the southwest for Team 2's Han Solo. Going for satellites, going for mass, engineering stations, going for SMD for the middle, going for RASCOMs, going for a whole bunch of stuff. Experimental production. Should probably gift this over to Freedom Fighter so he can easily micro that a lot better. But now with only one chicken online in the north, actually, excuse me, there is 2 chickens, so never mind. I was going to think the crab could walk on through. But that Fat Boy might get pretty close, and Team 1 could counterattack, and that's not going to go well. Spy planes over the top. We'll see what's going on. Nuke gets spotted here by Drunk Warden. Yes, it is going to be loaded. Team 1 has 2 SMDs there, so it will not launch or land, I should say. And Nuke going to be assisted. It's 84,000 mass killed. They also have a donut, but I don't see any other plays. T2 air is online here. Satellite over the top. Going to get some nice visions. Shields being built to protect said air grid. Artillery started here for Alex in the north. And another Colossus. That's realistically about it. Fat Boy is holding position here in the west. Fat Boy does get killed off, but will get reclaimed by Alex. Missiles are launching, going after the production facilities. T3 factory right here, being heavily assisted as we speak. SMD being assisted. Missiles are inbound. That was way overkill for one T3 facility. Did you think that was the headquarters or something? It's down here. You thought that was the headquarters, but that was a lot of missiles. There are more missiles to the west. They're going after the Fat Boys. It looks like Fat Boys aren't going to move. Oh, this might be enough. I think this is enough missiles to kill the Fat Boy. Oh, it's just 1 extra that he needed. Oh, actually 2 extra. And more. More missiles are being launched. Oh, geez. Team 2 loses a Fat Boy. They still have 3 more online and a crab running around here for Pavel. That nuke is about to launch, or about to load at least. SMD will prevent it from going anywhere. Could go after the east position, open up a hole for Team 2 to exploit down southeast, but with 3 experimentals and a bunch of shields, it's already being exposed by those units. 43 minutes on the clock here so far. I've seen 1 artillery, 1 satellite, and a couple of nuke launchers, but nothing super spicy so far. Mass for artillery, says Ninra. Looks like they're building artillery here. That's the emissary, definitely the far superior artillery of the game. So 2 artillery pieces being built by Team 1. Team 2, I do hear some chicken fire. We're getting in close with that crab and that Fat Boy. 3 chickens are online. Monkey Lord going to come into range here pretty shortly. I think it might be the first casualty. Oh, there are some whalers coming in, and a lot of lightning tanks coming to counter those gunships. ASF's coming to try to, block the skies out with all of their flying over, try to distract all those lightning tanks. Whalers will have to retreat. I mean, it's not going to do enough damage. The crab does end up escorting the monkey out of danger. Nuke gonna launch. It's from Team 2. It's going for this position. Oh, it is going for this position. Looks like there's another missile volley launched. Going after the nuke. No, that's the nuke launching. Mavor started here for Pavel. SMD coming online for him. He's at 1 SMD. And what are those missiles targeting? The RASCOM? Oh, they're targeting the RASCOM. Oh, that's funny. Won't be able to target that RASCOM for a while. It's on orders to move around. And the chicken does fall for Team 1. They lost one of their T4 units, but they have 2 more. Oh, excuse me. There's 3 Colossi over here. That's a lot of mass. Team 2 diverting all of their Middle East and Southeastern forces to this attack. This will open up a hole for Team 1 to exploit, but it will force the experimentals to come and intercept. There might be a feint of a feint. Team 1 might be leaving themselves vulnerable for some bricks to push in through this Middle East position. Crab going to push forward, and with the bricks just fly on through. Fat Boy does get taken out. Looks like probably by artillery fire, I would probably guess. But there's just so many units here. It's hard for the experimentals to get out of range. Brick's just going to run on forward to that defensive line. And the crab needs to turn around. Could easily kill the chicken off, but is not facing the direction to fire. And all those bricks are just going to be ripped to shreds. This will be I think Team 1's attempt to counterattack the attack that just happened. And there's even some Manatha fighter bombers inbound to assist. The chicken is about to be destroyed here, but there's 3 Colossi coming into range here shortly, and a second chicken coming into range here as well. Team 2 just doesn't have the experimentals or the T3 units to deal with this. Monkey is opening fire, dealing with all the offibs. Will focus fire on the chicken. The chicken will eviscerate that monkey, get some veterancy. The crab might not even kill the chicken here from Team 1. At 12, 10, 9, 5, 3, 2, 1. Chicken does die simultaneously with the crab. But now with 3 Colossi online, Team 2 has a huge hole that they have to plug. Team 1's going to shove everything they have into it and force their way on forward. Another volley of missiles outbound. Zapper is doing a very good job taking out a lot of those missiles. They're going after the T3 mechs. Kills off some mass storages, but that's about it. I would love to see some Percy's outbound from Team 2. That definitely would assist with this experimental problem they're having. All this is doing is forcing Team 1 to go west instead of south, so it does kind of funnel them, but Nuke arm, says Drunk. I think he's waiting for a target to go after. We do see some FAF warriors firing off in the distance to the west. Team 1 relatively hasn't faced any sort of, not landscape, but any infrastructure issues just because they're constantly attacking Team 2. And it shows here, Team 1 at 2.1k income, Team 2 at 1.3. This might just become a game where Team 1 just out-ecos Team 2 to the point where it's just not even, like, you throw 4 experimentals at Team 2 and it's like, it's fine. We got, 600,000 more mass than they do. It's fine for the time being. Second satellite is on the line here for Han Solo. Team 2 isn't constructing any artillery besides the Mavor to the west. And that's about to pop off into the yellow. Does Team 1 know about it? Yes, they do, if they haven't pinpointed it at this point. They know about the nuke. There's an SMD here guarding it. And that nuke is about a third of the way loaded. Nuke up in the north, like Drunk Warden said, is loaded. Mayborg does get spotted here by Alex. Artillery is online here for Alex as well as the emissary for Ninra. So 2 artillery. Definitely know where those are going. They're going to go straight for that Mavor. It even gets pinged. Field's coming online here shortly here for Pavel, and he's building a lot of TMD and some telemaser defense, which Team 1 doesn't have any. I mean, they have teleporting SACUs and comms, but it's not the telemaser threat. You still need some defenses, but not as many as you would need to just kill a telemaser comm instantly. Mavor's SMD is less shielded, says Drunk Warden, and they're targeting that position immediately. If that SMD falls, that Mavor is done and dusted. So this nuke needs to be protected as well as that SMD. I mean, 2 artilleries could be enough to break the shielding, but there are some strap bombers inbound from Team 1. They're going to start weakening the shields. That'd be a good opportunity to go after the shields for the Mavor, but they're not going for it. They're going after the Fat Boys. That's definitely a missed opportunity here for Team 1. You could have easily just combined fire and called it a day. I will help defend Mavor, says Freedom, where the shields are down for that artillery piece. It's in the yellow. It's over 25% completed. Shields come back online. More shields need to be built. I know you want to build the Mavor, but shields, have your comm build shielding. Even if it's T2, just build something. Satellites trying to go after that Fat Boy to the north. They don't kill it off, and it's such a missed opportunity. Could have easily gone for that Fat Boy. Not Fat Boy, sorry, the Mavor that was being constructed. And then in the east, reclaim operations have started. Team 1's going to get a ton of mass from this. Most of it being theirs, but a decent amount of it being from Team 2's. And artillery lining that approach, dealing with all of the PD that's online. Team 2's eastern side is starting to collapse, and my language skills are starting to collapse as well. Alex holding position here, isn't attacking. The time being, second emissary is started, and it's almost half done, excuse me. So it's progressing very, very quickly here. Emissary going to be started here for Drunk here pretty shortly. Second, Duke as well. Team 1's going to fight artillery with artillery. Novax is more dangerous than Mavor, says Ninra. Oh, one of the satellites is down. Second one is still online, though. Oh, he's probably complaining that the Duke from Alex is focusing that. Shield, says Rampart Shields. We have ASFs trying to block some of the incoming damage. Mavor's, it's about to get to 50%. More shields coming online. I mean, if Team 1 gets a third, if they get a second emissary, and they get a third emissary, and they get a... Like, it's not going to matter even if Team 2 does build that Mavor. It's like a lot of our attack power will be built and can easily be directed to other places. Land becoming a huge threat in the east here for Team 2. They need to mount some sort of game. They're focusing on, the end game stuff, but they're losing the ground war here, and looks like the attack will commence, or at least move in a little bit more, inch its way forward. Solo building more and more facilities, getting those RAS SCUs, getting the SMD online. The air grid back here is looking pretty nice. I do like how it's segmented out, but nothing else going here for Team 2 besides that Mavor. I feel like Team 2 should, if they're going to go for it, go for it. We do see some drones coming in here from Han Solo to assist with his eco. But with Team 1's Alex at 669 mass, producing almost a second to Duke, and the emissary almost online for Ninra, and the first emissary on its way here for Drunk, that Mavor is not going to complete. It just isn't. Missiles are outbound from the northeast, going after SACUs, I guess, and that dodges it as well. I get trying to take out all of the RASCOMs, but sending that many missiles, I don't know if it was that worth it. And there it goes. The chicken does move forward. Fat Boy moving into range. Second Fat Boy as well moving into range. So there's not really that many defensive. T1 PD being spammed up. Shields and all of the energy is being targeted, getting for those AoE explosions. And even if you kill off the chickens, you still have to deal with all of the T3 units, all of those lightning tanks, the sniper bots, the actual offense tanks. And I think I'm going to split it and focus on both the Mavor in the west. I'll put this right in the middle. And then we'll go back down here in the southeast. The attack does peter out very quickly. It actually peters out a lot faster than I thought it would. But that Mavor is about to cross into the green here pretty shortly. It's at 50, almost 5,400 hit points out of 8,000. Oh, it's getting there. Team 1, they're getting through the shielding. They're starting to fall here. Let's see, is there anything else going on? Let's see, that second emissary is probably built. And yes, it is. How's the one over there? It's still in the red. The second Duke is also online, so I'm assuming all 4 artillery pieces going to land on top of that one position. Once Team 2 loses that Mavor, that's it. It's game. And there it goes. Gets killed off by that explosion from the PGen. And Team 2 at this point doesn't have any way to fight back in the late stage of the game. 52 minutes. I'm going to call it for Team 1 just because, they have the land in the southeast and now in the northwest. And they have 4 artillery pieces plus a 5th one coming online here pretty shortly. It's essentially game over. Mavor down, says Ninra. Yep, it is down. Pavel being targeted by artillery. That's never a fun thing to deal with. Crab also gets taken up by Colossus. And I feel like at this point I'm going to speed it up to at least 2. I think that's a good speed to go at. And we can zoom out a little bit. Northwest is falling. Southeast is kind of holding with the Fat Boys. Fat Boys are being targeted by Chicken. Chicken will kill one of the Fat Boys. Nuke will launch. That's Drunk Borden's Nuke. He's been waiting for a while. Looks like the SMD either will be down or shortly be down. And that Colossus might even kill that SMD before it's able to launch its anti-nuke missile. But there are strap bombers outbound from Drunk as well. Where'd that Nuke go? Oh, it's over here for this base. There goes this position here for Freedom Fighters. And the Colossus is going to go after Pavel's commander. Will not die, but it's just gone. Everything over there. Map wasn't that great, says Ninra. Too turtley. Yes, but there was ample amount of time and effort that got put into going after land engagements back and forth. I do understand where they're coming from. UEF Telly says Han Solo. Yeah, teleporter is commencing. Actually, let's slow this down. Let's see where he goes. He's not going to change the outcome of the game, but he might do something fun. He's actually progressing very, very quickly. Hold on, let me grab his tracking. There we go. Zoom back out so we can see how the game's going on. Still tracking the command of the comm. Oh, will there just be a nuke dropped? And it's going to drop right on top of Han Solo. Will he get out of there? Yes, he does. He teleports out and says, see ya, you're not going to get a kill on me. And that is the game here. only one player died, and that would be Ruma earlier on. I think it was like 30-something minutes, I think is when he died. But I feel like Team 1's MVP, I think, goes for Ninra. Produced a decent amount of Colossus for defenses both for the Middle East and Southeast position. Built the first emissary, built the second emissary, went after the Mavor. Obviously, that was Team 2's trump card. But even if Team 2 had that online, the land was definitely in favor of Team 1. And just Team 1 held the line. They didn't let anything realistically pass. I don't think they had really any incursions. But I think like Ninra did a very good job. Kane almost died earlier on, but stayed alive and just held position. Even if Kane would have died, Ninra would have done a good job in holding this position as well. Would have gotten a bunch of mass and just would have gone for the emissary probably sooner. But I think, I mean, Team 2 had good defensive plays and Han Solo assisting everywhere, but it wasn't enough to assist on all sides, and it just started to collapse, and then the artillery came and kind of killed that plan. Also, the nuke, targeting the nuke down south, also didn't help. Freedom Fighter not having an SMD, that didn't help. Well, let me know down in the comments how you felt about the game. Please, if you haven't done so already, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, thank you so much for watching to the end of the video, and I will see all of you in the next one.